Welcome to the Positive Leadership Academy podcast. Today, I'm so excited. I always believe that it was meant to be. So, the guest that I have today, I have seen him. I was sharing with him before I hit record that I seen him on an infomercial long time ago when I used to stay up at night. And here you are. So it's such a pleasure. And one thing that tells me that if you've been doing what you've been doing and helping people for so long, that must be you are 100% legit, right?
I think I got some ex-wives. Maybe we'll say something else. My wife is making fun out of me over there. It's a joke I use all the time.
Great. Well, welcome to the show, Matthew. It's a pleasure having you here. I have so many questions to ask you because you're
What do you
finally
want to
here.
know? Why for anybody?
Great. Excellent. So one question that I have is, I remember watching you on the infomercial, and back in those days, I remember, I think I was waiting tables back in the. I was waiting tables, come home, and here I am, right? And I'm like, oh man, and life was tough back then for me. I remember I got PG&E, my electric bill shut down. It was tough. I mean, I had candles for a month until I can really get back on track. But one of the things that you taught me, believe it or not, and I'm gonna say this, I didn't share this with you before, but I I was struggling with my electric bill. I was struggling with my phone. I was struggling with so many things. And one of the things you taught me is to do the research, because thanks to you, I apply those things and I got my electric bill reduced. It was affordable, so I can pay it every month, and the electricity wasn't shut down, because back in those days, your kitchen was electric, and I had my phone, and that really helped me in a way as well. But I have a question. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people kind of look at you and they believe, is it true? Is it not true? What is the biggest myth that you see people that?
Biggest myth.
Yeah.
God, there's so many. The problem, I think, why people believe that is, or believe anybody who says something like me is a scam. Because if you go to Google, it is a scam. And that's where people go to find information. And that's where people scam you. Because everything in Google is there to make money for people. So the people who really give you money are not in Google. And so everybody thinks I'll get money for my bills or something, and I'll go to Google. And all you're going to find there is people who are going to promise you something and they can't deliver, or charge you for something you didn't have to pay for. So that's what I fight every day, is realizing that you don't go to Google if you don't have money. If you have money and you could buy your way out of problems, fine, you go to Google. If you don't have money, 40% of everything in our country gives away money for free. So we have an economy, it's like $20 billion or something like that. Well, about 40% of that is people giving away free money and free services. And 60% of that is capitalism. But the people who give it away for free don't advertise. So it's the people who charge you money, the capitalism part, they advertise. So you know about them. And they're also, the problem is that people think that everybody is like, who helps them is like people in capitalism. But capitalism wants to get money from you. So they're going to kiss your ass until you give them money. It's not going to be nice. Now,
Absolutely.
right. So you're a salesman, right? So if you go to find organizations, the 40% of America that gives you money to do things or solve problems, they're not like that. They get paid no matter what you do. So they don't have to convince you to anything or whatever. So it's your duty actually to be nice to them. That's how you get the money. And we don't do that because it'll take some time. You have to make a bunch of calls and you get put on hold, and you'll say, oh, screw, I knew Lesko was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't stay in there. And that's the key. And now, I don't know, can you go online now? Can you?
Yes, I can.
Go to a source that is good to start. I have nothing to do with this. I won't make any money from this. It's called findhelp.org. See, the people who give money are people with .org or .gov. The have to get money from you to survive.
Yeah.
These people already have the money. They're looking for people to give it to. And so are you there at dot?
Yeah, I'm there, and right away I see, find free or reduce cost. like
Yeah,
food, housing, financial assistance,
and you
healthcare, and
put in your
more.
zip code up on the left
Yeah,
hand.
and you put your I'm putting my zip code what I'm at. Yeah, and you have they said that there is 2,500 programs and they're all divided between food, housing, goods, transit, health, money, care, education, work, and legal as well. Yeah.
So there's 2,500 programs in your zip code that just give out free money. 2,500.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I think that's amazing. So if you have to pay utilities, let's say, like you were, you go up to the little search bar again on the left-hand side and put in utilities,
Yeah.
okay, and see what you get there. Because it's going to search now just for those 2,500 for utilities.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have veterans, financial assistance program, supportive service for veteran families, emergency assistant. Yeah,
Does it have
you
a
have
number up there on the top of how many you have?
right here. They have. Let's see, and obviously I am in Central Coast. I'm my
But
zip code. There's 40,000, but there's 55 organizations. So
So there's 55 for utilities. So when you were trying to pay your phone bill, you found one, but if they said no, you have 54 other places to check. And that's what people don't realize. They'll talk to one place or something and they say, oh, you make too much money or this, that, or the other thing, and you're not eligible. Well, man, that's like getting a job. You don't go to one place and say you're hiring
exactly.
and they say no, you go to the next place.
Yeah.
Now, what's great about this is that you have, 50 some organizations that are in the business to do it. And even if you're not eligible, so like the first one for military, you call them anyway if you have nobody else to call, because they at least are in the business of helping people in your area pay for utilities. So if you don't apply for theirs or you don't qualify for theirs, they would know others possibly. They're the best place to know other people, in the business. So like
Mhm.
you in the coaching business or whatever, and you say, well, I don't coach animal trainers, but I bet if
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
you would know somebody who probably would do that,
yeah,
or more
and
like,
And like I say, I mean, you brought back that memory. I was like, hey, there has to be something, right? Because I'm like, I'm waiting tables and I cannot
right.
pay my electricity. And I mean, I was living in the Bay Area back then. The rent was still high, and that really helped me because just the sense of coming home
Yeah,
and knowing that you have your utilities, it was to me, it was like such a big help. And I remember I'm like, oh my goodness, instead of just saying, okay, I am in poverty, right?
right.
So yeah, that the
No,
research.
and it also thinks that's the community. See, that's the community part of our society. And every society has a community part, and they have trying to figure out another way to make money. But somehow we like to make fun of the community part and say that's socialism or communism. No, it's fucking people helping each other.
Yeah, so it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you go. I mean, you can go any weekend to any of the thrift stores, Goodwills, and the amount of stuff that people give away is
Exactly.
just insane, right? So that tells you that.
And that's what we're here. That's part of the human condition. I think what makes us grow, what makes us feel good is by helping other people, no matter what. And that's why now what we have is a community of 20,000 members. I have a community um, that helps people get these programs. So it's not me, it's 20,000 people or 15. I don't even know what it is, but it's a big number to me that help other people. So they could, they don't have to come and expect me to do it. I've been studying this for 50 years. I'm not even good at, realize what they really need or how they feel. But someone who just got the money, sort of like you, if you just got, oh boy, I got this, and they're excited to help other people take advantage of these things too. And that's why I think it's a wonderful country we have this, but people don't know. They just go to Google and get ripped off.
Yeah. And knowing that Google has, I forgot how much liquid they have in the bank, right? Like they can own a
Exactly.
country.
Exactly. Absolutely. It's boy, we have to reprogram people. And I've been doing this work for 50 years and people still don't know about this. So I verified that I'm doing a shitty job in life.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is great, and I will put this on the show notes because I mean I was just playing around with it. And I apologize I wasn't looking at you at the camera, but I was. I mean, we're talking about health for transit, bus passes, health for gas, health for work expenses, health for school, clothing, your phone, your utility, disability. They even have help for nutrition as well,
Right.
funeral help as well, right? So let's say you don't have money. Let's say unfortunately somebody passed away. That
Me, that gives people comfort knowing that's there. If you know that is there, and you know there's help, like, if you come from a strong family that will take care of you, it's nice. It gives you, uh, comfort to go into the world and do the stuff you want to do. If you know that any a wrong step and you're going to fall through the cracks and no one will know no one will help you, and that's a frightening way to live. Yeah.
absolutely,
And
absolutely,
that's what I'm trying to do is let people understand. Yes, we do have a part of our society, 40%, that is really here to show you love. To me, that's what love is. You help someone do what they want to do. You don't tell people what to do in life because nobody really knows. We're all guessing.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I have a question, and this is so powerful. I mean, I think this the first question, and showing us, hey, go to findhelp.org. I think the second question kind of answers, but I mean, new administration, new government administration, the Dodge thing, and all this hype of, hey, we cutting costs, and we are, for example, I'm part of an organization that gives free coaching to government employees that lost their jobs.
Good for you.
Um, how is it that, I mean, is the money from the government being cut back? Are the programs being more restricted? What can you say, and since you're an
Yeah,
expert in
so
this?
it's more complicated. Our president really he's a showman there. So he really just likes the headlines. He's not give a shit what he's saying, as long as he gets the front page. And so you see, like all of his stuff when it eventually gets to the courts say no, but he just says yes and he gets the headline. He doesn't care what happens later. And he is firing people. I think that's the most hurtful thing is people that are in the government have expertise to help us live a better life. And with 20 years expertise, oh, you're curing cancer? No, fuck you. It doesn't matter. Get out of here. That kind of thing. And it's ruining people's lives that have that. And then we don't have that asset as a community. We don't have that asset, that expertise. We're going to have to build that all over again. But it's really the most like everything I just showed you, that's all there. So the people on the ground, most of everything that's there, what he loves doing is people that pissed him off in life, lawyers and colleges he couldn't get into and things like that. He's grabbing their grants, but that's not over yet. It doesn't say that it's going to happen. But I think, he's hurting people, particularly people living in fear. They're going to be picked up by somebody, in a goon squad and put on an airplane and into some country that you know how to pronounce. Is to live in fear is a damaging thing to do, I think, to people. I mean, the object is to cut government. Yes, there's a lot that could be cut. There's a lot that I should be better at too. We all have that can be looked
Mhm.
at
Yeah.
more. So the object is good, but the method of hurting people in doing that is, I think, immoral. And we shouldn't hurt people if we don't have to. Sometimes you really have to, and people, but we don't have to do that so millionaires could get another tax break.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
But
So what
it
you're saying is, and I agree with you, is, I mean, obviously, I tell all my clients that I coach, I said, do not pay attention to the news. They're like,
uh,
well, what if the aliens land tomorrow and I'm not aware of it? I say, I think you will be aware of it. But because it's the same. I contribute to Democracy Now, but I stopped watching it because the first thing they tell you is how many Palestinians have been killed in Gaza, and I'm
right,
thinking, oh man, I get upset, and I see these images of kids, and I'm like, oh man, and I get angry, and but
right,
it doesn't really help me. It doesn't really promote me to do anything and say, hey, here's something that you can do, right? So it really creates unnecessary stress and fear about what's
yeah,
happening. So what you're saying
definitely
is, hey, the programs
ignore
are
it.
still going to be there, but do not listen to the
Yeah.
media fear that they're
Be
creating.
a little harder, and that's the thing. So I got to encourage people. So if you get the runaround a little bit, you may get 10% more runaround, and that will be going on. So you have to work a little harder at getting it, but it's still there. None of the money programs have been taken away. He's got to spend all that money before the next year ends. So and that averages out to $18,000 per every adult in the United States. All it for individuals is really not there, but he cuts out all the people at Social Security, so you can't call and find out about your stuff.
Mhm.
So that's the thing that's hurtful, I think. So a senior trying to figure out how to live in this new life. And the one thing to do is you call your elected official. If you have trouble, whatever, the only people that have power in the system are elected officials. So you could call, you're like, I have a phone number here somewhere. You could call Capitol Hill Switchboard. Smiley, what's the number? Do you remember? 202 3121. 202 224 3121. That's Capitol Hill Switchboard. They'll give you your senator's office and you call both of them, and say, hey, I can't get through Social Security. And they will help you. I mean, the bureaucracy maybe gets screwed up. Yeah, they have staff, like 200 people that just help those questions. And the fat cats use that. And every skinny cat could use it too. They have the same power because they have a vote. So the fat cats could give money too, but you could give a vote. And they brag at the end of the year how many people they've, and I read their stories about, yeah, so and so got, $1,000 of back money they owed me and all this kind of stuff. So that's your power in the system. And if you want legal help, anybody messes you over, you go to findhelp.org. And there are probably 200, 300 organizations that give free legal help for anything, whether it's you're worried about immigration, okay? Lots of free legal help for that. So you can get it all. You're worried about being foreclosed. You go call up there and they'll give you free legal help. And actually, people who get legal help when you have no money to pay your rent, if you have legal help, 91%. I was just reading the data this morning. 91% of people get free legal help don't get evicted. If you don't get legal help, 50% get evicted.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that free legal help is important. You're playing a game. Don't think you know the game because somebody else is playing the rules that favor them. So you don't know the rules that favor you, and you have to get legal help to do that, and that is free. And actually, I have a new report. Maybe if you want to share this with your friends, you can get this for free. All the free legal help that's in every state, and because everything's regulated. Your dry cleaner, your car repair guy, your bank, your credit card. If you go to Lesko, no, tiny URL, TINY URL.com/Lesko Legal. Tiny URL.com/Lesko Legal. You go there and you download that report I have for every state and all the free legal programs there for anything. Your dentist screws you over. You could get the government to call them and investigate. Anything like that. Your contractor, your lawyer messes you over. There's people you call and they'll jump when they say how high because they can't lose their license. And see, everybody's governed by a license there. And so they investigate if you're screwing over. So they'll investigate and they don't want a black mark on them in the public record about them. So it's
Yeah.
easier for them to pay you off.
Then to absolutely. I mean, I'm learning so much today from you, but one of the things is obviously be proactive, right? I mean, the information is there,
Absolutely.
but what about and this I think is also mindset issue, right?
Yes,
Of
definitely.
people find help. It's just there's so much stuff here. I mean, I'm looking into great alternative Central Coast. Like if you cannot pay your utility, they work with you and creating this part of this other grid. And I mean, all
Right.
this program. How does that work? What is the advice that you will give for individuals? Because obviously, individuals that are looking for help, they're very easy to be turned off by a simple no. Right? I was raised. I'm an immigrant, so I was raised the opposite way. If you tell me no, I'm going to take 2 steps forward. And if you tell me no again, I will keep moving forward. But what will be a tip that you can tell people, hey, like you say, it's a job. You just got to keep applying and
Right.
see what comes out with this type of programs, because I know I always believe that money, some people have a weird relationship with money, right? And
Yes.
people feel weird saying, hey, I am a low income or I'm making $24,000 a year, right? What would be a tip that you can say to overcome that for those people that want to apply?
The guy. I mean, that's hard because so much of that is
Yeah.
ingrained in all of us. And I think the more you try, what gets you out of that is a success. I think the only way, yeah, like, yeah, I could hit a baseball. You tell me how to hit a baseball, man, until you get to the plate and they come out 100 miles an hour at you.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't do, but when you finally hit one, hey, fuck, man, I could do this.
Yeah.
That's what you have
Yeah.
to do. So how do you get to do that? And the one thing is you call those people there in that find help, because everyone there are really coaches to help you get there. And so they know things because they're part of that community that does this.
Yeah.
So that's
That's what
why,
they're there
hey,
for. Yeah.
yeah, and then you ask them, "Hey, you're doing that. I can't get shit. What am I doing wrong?" And ask them, people in the business, not somebody who's going to get paid $1,000 to help you. These are, again, people that are born. They have a job to love other people and help them in any way they can. So
Yeah.
they're the people, and sure, there's assholes there too, but you're more likely to get good people instead of what you're find in Google.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. It's not like walking into DMV, right?
Right.
These are people that work for either a nonprofit or organization that are there
But even in
to
DMV, here's what I've learned from doing this too. You make people laugh. They're like the DMV guy. If I get him to laugh, he'll spend all day with me. Everybody else is pissed at being in the DMV.
No, I agree 100%. 100%. I mean, hey, that life is too short, right? And
Exactly.
to take anything seriously as
And
well.
bad shit's gonna happen no matter what. All
No
of
matter.
us. You're a human. You're gonna get shit on.
Yeah, that
And believe you shouldn't. See, that's why if people are around you and you're looking at Instagram, everybody's happy and nobody's just shit on, right?
no.
Millionaire, right? Exactly. When life isn't that way at all. So you think you're not. That's why you start talking to real people and not your mother-in-law or something like that who doesn't like you anyway. People that are there to help you with things like this. That's where you have to get the feedback from real people.
Absolutely. And I agree 100%, right? That's the worst. That's the you said it at the beginning. Google and any social media platform is the worst place you can go for help, right? Because they're not there to help you. They're there to sell you, right? And they're going to say, "Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
me.
Oh
I'm a
yeah. Come to
millionaire.
me
Why
as
aren't you?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I want to end with this question. You have first of all, your energy is contagious. You have an amazing you're such a great person. Too bad that um we have a camera between us and internet and all those gadgets, but I will definitely give you a hug because I can
That's
tell
what
you
life
you
is. Hugging each other, man. What the hell's better?
my question that I have is you have this unique trademark, right? I mean, your suits, your glasses, your haircut, right? What right? Because I mean, now that I know you, I'm like, no wonder I know where it's coming from. But right, people see you. What is that? What is that coming? What that symbolize for you, right? Because
Look,
I give you an example, right? I used to coach with shirts, dressing shirt, and I realized I'm like, man, this is too much money. I'm going to the cleaners every week, right? And I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to think about what shirt to write. So I start wearing black
yeah,
t-shirts, and I wear black t-shirts for 5 years. I mean, I have like 7 pairs. I wear them, and I don't have to. And I tell people, I say, hey, I'm gonna be like this. This is who I am. So that's in a way my trademark. But you have such a unique, beautiful, energetic trademark. What does it symbolize about your mission?
well, it's me inside. This is what I always been. And when I got an MBA and back from Vietnam and all this kind of stuff, I was trying to be something else that they taught me in school, and none of that was working. And I said, God, I'm out there trying to do stuff and doing everything like was told would work, and none of it's working. So I'm failing, not having fun. And it sort of seems to be you got to find something you're miserable at for 30 years to maybe have fun after that. Now that just seems stupid after I was failing at everything. So I have to be miserable in order to maybe, and it's not even a guarantee, right? No matter that you're going to have fun. So I said, shit, you got to start having fun now to turn this situation around. So I fail, but I'm having fun now. I'm not waiting for 30 years to maybe have fun. Why wait? And then the clothes, and that's me inside. I always had that. I was a clothes horse. And when I started having fun, and then I said, well, that comes from inside. And I looked at our real success in life comes from us finding what we're really good at inside, and we have that to share, and that's how we could love other people. We could love them better if we're doing what's natural, not trying to follow some rules. I mean, like making love, there's no spreadsheet for how to make love. I
Yeah.
mean, you think there is, and we all try to find it, but it really isn't. It's your heart. And so to help anybody, to love anybody, it really, how do you get your heart out in front? Not, 7 rules to success or whatever the fuck it is, because they're all different for everybody. And we're all trying to copy somebody else's success. And that probably won't work. There's maybe little bits of it that work. So it's not bad. But if you're spending money on that, you have to be careful because you're going to run out of money before you find out what works for you. And I think that's looking inside. So my rule of thumb now is your heart is smarter than your brain.
Mm.
Yeah, go with your heart. I mean, in personal relationships, professional relationships, and I don't see any difference. Your
Yeah.
heart has to be there so you can love hard. And that's another thing. Everybody thinks love should be just a little. No, I mean, or work should be no, you don't want to love a little. No, you want to pour your fucking heart out.
Yeah.
And in the same way with your skills, you want to pour your heart out,
Yeah.
so you can give a lot. So that's why, I want to do is, yeah, but you won't grow. You could do that, but
That's deep, right? You got me thinking. I keep telling myself all the time, get the shit out of your head. Get the shit out of your head, right? And follow your heart. Like, because
yeah,
we right here, like too much
man,
going on here. I'm like, too much chatter. Like, come on, man. I tell myself, like, let go, man. Just do things with a heart, because when you do with a heart, it's just like you say, it flows so much better, and you can impact so much
yeah.
better. Where can people find you?
Leskohelp.com, leskohelp.com. Yeah, and it's our one-on-one service, and it's only $20. I used to do this for $2,000 for fat cats, but I was making millionaires into billionaires. I don't want to help rich people. I want to help people who need this money. So I was surprised I could make a living out of charging $20, and it became profitable. We've just been at it like 2 years or so. That we give out $50,000 every month, 50 to 70. This is what we do with our profits. Give it back to members. So we give $50,000 back to members at least every month as profits to help them, because they're usually people struggling. And so that's who I think should get the money back, not investors on Wall Street. People we're trying to help.
I agree. And you got, first of all, thank you for being part of the Positive Leadership Academy podcast. Thanks for your help. I think this episode is packed with so much help. One thing that I'm getting out of you that we can apply on leadership styles is really be proactive, keep going, be
Absolutely.
resilient, keep digging.
Right.
I tell people I came here in 1984. To me, yes, I believe in the American dream, but you need to work on it.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be hand delivered to you. You need to work. But once you work and you do the work, you're like, man, this is it, right? And this is the country that we got to be proud of. Forget the media, because they're there to make money.
They're selling as subscriptions like me.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. God bless you, and love to have you again. And I will make sure I put all the information on the show notes so people can take advantage and be part of your program.
My pleasure. Thank you, Javier.